Good afternoon. Thank you, Linda and ADAO, for this opportunity, and thank all of you for being here and being part of this incredible community. Today, I want to talk about heroes. What do you think of when you hear the word hero? Heroes come in so many shapes and sizes, and they usually don't have capes. And we rarely, if ever, think of ourselves as heroes. But why not? I love this quote about heroes from Fred Rogers. We live in a world in which we need to share responsibility. It's easy to say, it's not my child, not my community, not my world, not my problem. Then there are those who see the need and respond. I consider those people my heroes. I think everyone in this room sees the need. And just by being here today, we are all responding. So doesn't that make us all heroes? Is it enough to be here? How else can we respond? How else can we be the heroes we wish to see in the world? I'd like to share a little bit of my story with all of you. This is my dad, David. In 2011, he was diagnosed with mesothelioma. We were shocked and devastated. Unfortunately, my dad, my hero, my superhero, lost his 5-year-long battle this last July. His diagnosis and his battle changed my life forever in ways I could not have imagined. I learned so much about mesothelioma, about asbestos exposure, about anger and hurt, about precious time, about love and inspiration, about my dad's amazing strength and courage, and about myself. And I learned that if you want something to change bad enough, you will find a way to make it happen. So here I am, sharing my story with all of you, trying to help get asbestos banned once and for all. Do I think that sharing my story will get asbestos banned? Absolutely. However, it certainly won't get the job done by itself. It will take effort, a lot of effort, from a lot of people, a lot of heroes, to get asbestos banned. But by simply sharing my story, I am helping, and so can you. Have each of you in this room that has been affected by asbestos exposure shared your story? Have you done it through the Share Your Story section of ADAO's website? Have you done it separately on Facebook, on a blog, to friends, to strangers? If everyone affected by asbestos exposure shared their personal story however they could, whenever they could, imagine how much that could help us get closer to banning asbestos. So how does sharing your story help? I think this quote from Leonard Nimoy puts it beautifully. The more we share, the more we have. One of the most important reasons to share your story with ADAO is because Linda and ADAO take our stories to Congress to put faces to the issues and statistics. I know there are some of you in this room that have even taken your stories directly to Congress with Linda. I believe that by making it more personal, it becomes much more difficult for Congress to ignore the facts. Secondly, sharing our story brings us together as community. We are forever bound by the fact that we have been affected by asbestos exposure. None of us chose this, but we need this community of support from others that understand. There is strength in community, a strength that is critical to this movement. It also helps educate others that might be at high risk of asbestos exposure and inspires and provides hope to those facing a battle now. Just because I've shared my story, I have had people reach out to me to ask what to do if they suspected they had asbestos in their home. I've connected individuals that were fighting mesothelioma to others in similar battles, including to my dad. And I've been a part of a local mesothelioma support group, which has been a great deal of comfort to all of us the past couple of years. Finally, by sharing our stories on social media specifically, it helps expand and strengthen the movement. With social media such an integral part of our daily lives, there truly is strength in numbers. So what else will help us get asbestos banned? Look, we're all extremely busy. I know I am. Because of technology, we are all working more, running faster, shutting down less, and a lot of it is out of our control. I'm very fortunate that I have a job that is very fulfilling at a company that treats me well, with people I enjoy working with. But it takes up a lot of my time. Combined with other things going on in my personal life, it is difficult for me to do as much as I would like to do to help Linda and ADAO. So instead, I find the ways I can help when I can help. There are so many ways each of us can help without a huge time commitment. Of course, one powerful way is sharing our stories with anyone that will listen, but there are so many other ways to help. For example, Facebook is a great tool for educating others and gaining more support for banning asbestos. It is beyond sharing your story. It's sharing your knowledge and your passion. I'll bet everyone in this room has information that can be helpful to others. Share that knowledge. Your passion for change will shine through and motivate others to help. Then there are times when calls to Congress are critical. I remember the first time I was asked to make some calls to my senators. I was so nervous and didn't think I had time to do it, but I was determined. Linda always has a script to use, and by using her script and adding my own personal story, it became easier. Since then, I've realized that our senators and representatives and their staff are just people. I don't ever have a problem telling my story to anyone I meet. So why should I be nervous calling a senator's or representative's office and telling them or their staff my story? And guess what? It usually takes less than 10 minutes to call a few senators and representatives. That's very little time with a potential huge payoff. Another opportunity to help is to get together with others in your area and form your own meso support group. It's a great way to support each other and share ideas of how we can help educate others as well. Finally, you could participate in an awareness and/or fundraising event. You don't have to create your own event. There are so many events you can participate in. For example, I usually attend the Miles for Meso 5K in Alton, Illinois. Last year, I walked in it for the first time, and by sharing my story, was not only able to help raise awareness, but also raise funds to support ADAO's efforts. And it was a very small time commitment. Aside from the weekend spent in Alton to actually attend the event, it took some emails, Facebook posts, and conversations with people to raise the money. I realize that not everyone is comfortable asking their friends and family for money, no matter how strongly they feel about the cause. However, helping a fundraising event is not limited to raising money. You could also volunteer. From experience, I can tell you, and I think Linda would agree, committed volunteers are hard to find and critical to any effort or event. Whether you are holding an event, attending one, or volunteering, you are helping raise awareness and funds and ultimately helping get asbestos banned. And as you probably have caught on, there is an underlying theme to how you can help: sharing your story. So yes, I do believe that sharing my story will help end asbestos. Until the US and Canada, which has now banned asbestos, we are decades away from a global ban. We need to embrace unity, share our stories, and use social media to expand and strengthen the movement. I'll leave you with one more quote from Jacques Fresco. You can either have one guy lifting 1 billion pounds by himself, and it takes many years of planning and preparation, or you can have 1 billion people each lifting 1 pound, and it takes a mere moment. This is the power of unity. Will each of you here today commit to lifting 1 pound? Will each of you commit to being the hero you wish to see in the world? Together, we can do this.